Good evening and welcome to another edition of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I'm Jennings Bernard, your host. As always, we really do appreciate you. You know what we do here. We talk business, legal, social, whatever affects you in your community, we will talk about it. Well, I got a little sound effects here I'm going to play, and we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. For all of the people who take in charge and the powers that be money, I got a little something for you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what you do when Tarzan call you to come get those contributions. You fall in the line. That's what they're doing. Tarzan is taking over the black community and giving them what they need to do what they do, and that is not to represent the people. Let me do that again. I just think we need to know exactly what we're saying. Come get your money. Come get your money to sell out your community. That's right. I say that, and I say that with 100%. I believe that when Tarzan called, black politicians go to run. Look at soon on the 22nd, I'm going to have that printout. We'll see what the money, who got the money from the Tarzan of our community. And they can't get elected without Tarzan money. And that's what they're doing each and every day. They're selling you out when you wake up and know the time is over. It's over for us selling us out. And ladies and gentlemen, you need to wake up. It's time for you to wake up and let us do what's right to be done by those individuals who are not representing us. Yeah, I'm gonna put the pictures up. You know they stole you out to get ahead because you're not important to them. The people that are important to these people here are the Tarzans of the community with the money. Some may not remember, but some do remember. Tarzan used to call with his yell, and the animals would come to see what Tarzan in this community can call, and our politicians go to running. It's time out for that, ladies and gentlemen. It's no longer we should sit back and accept what we accepted in this community. Time out, y'all. Excuse me, that I had to block this call while I'm doing my introduction. And that's what it is. You got to realize these things are happening in our community. And then you all, those who are misled, you go out and you try to defend these individuals. You got to call it is. You got to call it what it is. You're not going to get better until you start voting better, getting these people out of office. To stay, to come in and do what they do. Yeah, come on in. Because the people we got in the school board and on the school board don't know what they're doing. It's been proven to you. It's been proven. Welcome in, welcome in. You know what we do here. We talk business, legal, social, whatever affects you in this community, we talk about it. It's time for somebody to talk about this stuff and for you to wake up and realize that you're being caught in a trap, a political trap, where the people that supposed to represent you don't represent you. Now, for anybody on the school board trying to justify what they have done here against, not for, but against our children, these board members need to go. And I'm going to just show you how bad the misguided, minded individuals that are not representing you. We hear down in South Haven, they are talking about the uh, combine uh, that's here in South Memphis. They want to go up now from the 30, they want to do 41. They want to get permission to do 41 combine. Now they're 30. And you can't tell me that pollution as I look at it. 41 if they're given permission. Now you just wait and see what those knuckleheads gonna do if the city council have to give permission. They already gave permission to use 30, but what about 41? And you're gonna sit back and tell me that there is no difference when they put those Columbine into action, into doing what it do. The people on the school board make bad decisions. The people on the city council make bad decisions when it comes to our community. And we need to wake up. The people on the county commission don't know how to budget. They got to take from Peter to pay Paul. When will we say enough is enough? And I say to you, you have that right. You have that power to say enough is enough, and I'm going to continue to tell. I'm going to tell you the thousands of the world and who giving the money to our so-called politician leaders, which we know in this black community, in every position, we have somebody that can be bought and paid for, that's already bought and paid for, have been in office for 8 years and really haven't done one thing for the black community, the people that you're supposed to represent. And I hope and pray that we get individuals in this new election that's going to have a backbone. Right now, we got a bunch of politicians in this community, and I'm not addressed the city as a whole, but I have to address so-called leaders in our community that are not doing anything. And every day I'm seeing more petitions being pulled. They want to be political politicians all the time. In other words, how many of them actually that are running for office actually have a job? I'm not talking about a job that you had as an elected official. I'm talking about a job. Your job has been for the last 20 years running from one office to the other. And it goes to show you how the black community don't even think at all when it comes to putting people in place to represent us. Now, temporarily, I would say to you that a politician should run and be done. But these people are making a career out for you, and you paying their salary. They want the power, the position, and the money. Run for office, but don't make a living out of it. If you ran, allow somebody else with a better idea and a brighter idea to lead the people. But we stuck in Memphis. We are about the only place in Memphis that keep politicians all warmed up, served over again to you. And they flock to the churches, they flock to the preachers who may be warmed over themselves, not doing what they're supposed to do. more about them as opposed to you. When will we wake up, ladies and gentlemen? When will we say enough is enough? We allow this thing to go on, and this abuse, I call it political abuse that is taking place when it comes to our so-called leaders. They're putting you in harm's way. When you think about the supercomputer harm's way, think about the Columbine and the, they putting out here that's putting all of this. I don't care what you say. If they are putting them out there with the supercomputer, why didn't they take it to Germantown, where all of that land? Why didn't they take it to South Haven, with all of that land? But they didn't. They found to go to the black community in the heart of it. Then they said it ain't over with. They may come back again with building the jail in the heart of New Chicago. They say it's just on a standby. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that it's just a standby. But they're gonna come back and just do it. But you need to send a message to take out some of these individuals. I used to say, and I still say, on your, you know what the number is? Number is 901-288-5779. You let me know what you think and what should take place in this upcoming election. We ask you to subscribe to this program and YouTube at MemphisRealTalk.com, at X at MemphisRealTalk.com, and also Spotify. We ask you to subscribe to these programs that we are trying to get the information out on your behalf. Well, it's coming up close. The 22nd, I've seen the new petitions have been pulled in certain positions, but they got to make their mind up what they're going to run for by the 22nd. And that's just a few days away, maybe a week, the 22nd, because today is the 17th, but the 22nd, they got to make the decision. But the decision, what they're running for, is not as important as the decision as to who you're going to vote for. That's the biggest decision coming up in this election that you have made in a long time. You have made decisions that have been the wrong decision because of these individuals playing with you the same way you was treated during Jim Crow. And I say it's a Jim Crow mentality that they are playing you with. But you go along, and one of them is that you fail to communicate with each other. The problem in the black community is that we fail to communicate with each other. And the elected officials don't want to communicate with you until it's come time for you to vote for them. Now, Representative Bibb, who is my representative in this district, a week ago I called and left a message with the secretary or whoever to have her to call me. I want to get on the show. I want to talk to her about issues that are happening in this community as it relates to the people you represent. Now, Commissioner Bibb did not call me back and have not called me back. But I want to call you once, maybe twice. But if you don't call me back, then it says to me You're not interested in what I got to say. Some people don't call back because they don't want you to put them on the spot. Now, to me, I have a problem with anyone who don't want to talk to the people who uh, they vote for. In other words, you vote for an individual, and that individual don't want to talk to you because you got a radio program or you got a podcast. They don't want you to know their position on certain things. Now that's a problem. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. But see, in the minute of you know her, you can tell what I said as it relates to her not calling me back. That's just an escape way of not wanting to deal with you. Because if you ask them the question and they don't want to answer it, then you know where they stand. And there are going to be some questions of those who want to come on this show. Some have called. They want to come. They're running for judge. But I've been around a lot of judges in my career. I've seen those who take it personal in decision making that they make, and it shouldn't be personal. It should be on the line of the law. Now, this is the problem. If you look at it, I'm saying that DA Steve Mulroy and his team have researched and found that a man was innocent of a murder. What does that say to any prosecutor, past or present? That so case that a man have to do 16 years knowing that he's innocent or she's innocent, but doing 60 years because the prosecutor, the DA's office, past and present, didn't really look into the situation. And that's the problem. Stop letting these people play with you. Don't allow them to make decisions and you not hold them accountable. Now, I want to find out how many of you have really sit down with your family and said to them, we got an important vote coming up, and we need to be prepared to do the right thing. Talk to your family and say, in this house, this is what we're going to do if you're in charge of your house. Now, a lot of you may not be in charge of your house because the children run your house. But then, what does that say about you when you can't make individuals in your house now? You can't make them if they're outside of their house. That's their decision. But as long as they're inside of your house, you ought to have some say so. You know, sometimes you got to push them out if they ain't listening to you. But this time is the most important time to this election that we'll have in a long time. But this going to set the course as to how politics is going to be run in the city of Memphis. With Tarzan, who I played making his call to the jungle to take care of business. These political Tarzans are using their influence and money to back out the people who's supposed to represent you. So I say to you, it's time for you to organize your family, organize your street and your block, talk to each other, whether at church, after church, when you're saying because it's important. But some of you don't go along because you want to know in the know. And you want people to know that you know this, that person. And that person is doing nothing for you. And you just caught up in this madness. But guess what? If you don't do the right thing now, then you're on your own. because you're going to fail continuously putting these people back in office. The way you can get freedom, political freedom, is you have to get rid of people who have been around and just there for a paycheck because that's what they're there for. If you don't see anything that they have done to make your life better, it's about a paycheck. If you got potholes in your community, you call your representative, they don't call you back, then that person don't need to be in office. Remember, then you call someone and they got their phone and it's full of messages. You can't leave a message. You know why? Because they don't want to talk to you. Some let their phone fill up. And I've had them tell me, man, I tried to call you and you got your message. Yeah, I got it. That's the reason I got it full. I don't want to deal with it. I'm so busy. No, Doc, you got a phone been furnished to you for your constituents to talk to you. Now, if you don't want to talk to your constituents about what they want to talk to you about, then you need to give up the seat because that phone was given to you for the sole purpose of talking to your constituents. But if you want to do that, give up the seat. Put someone in there that's going to make a difference. Look at what the politicians have done when they come to the school board. Remember the old cliche that they used to say a long time ago, get them enough rope to hang yourself. This school board hung themselves to the point that the state is coming in to take over. Why? The state just didn't say, hey, one day I'm gonna just go and take over Memphis. You have to have proof. Your forensic audit is going to show the proof. And they're gonna come in and do what they do because you dropped the ball. And stop trying to put it on everybody else and not accept the blame. See, when you accept the blame, you learn better and you ought to do better. But see, people who are in power want to keep denying that they didn't do anything. The school board member, and Lord, when I think about the school board member and some of the folks that's on that board, I wonder what were you thinking? And we have to think better because we have to do better. Until we do better, we're going to stay in the position that we're in. You know, we're number one in most violent crimes, and yes, after the snow has passed, a few people have been shot and killed because they feel that they can run this city because the politician can't do it, and politicians are not worried about it. All they want to do is get paid. All they want to be is recognized. They want to sit trend, and we're going to take over. We're going to run this city because we are an organization of fraternity or sorority. It's more important to, for us to be seen than to do the right thing. It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. I will be paying attention. You ought to be paying attention and find out exactly what is taking place or will be taking place in our city. It's time for us to wake up and, as they used to say, smell the coffee. I'm Jenny Bernard. You're listening to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. Well, this weather is going from one point to the other. What do you think? Uh, and some of you in this could hear Brother Haynes, Minister Haynes, that's why they passed all of these is law, uh, the data center. Okay, all right, I'm sitting there saying, what do you say? Give me a call, if you will, mister. Give me a call at 901-288-5779. I would like to hear from you on your position that you just type in. I want to see what you think. It's time for us to start speaking of 901-288-5779. If you call and express, and we want to do that, we got enough microphones in here, enough uh, cameras in here that we can have a dialogue. I would love the dialogue with you. Uh, Mr. Haynes had put his opinion out on what he think is the right to the environment uh, situation and laws are being passed. Tell me what you think. 901-288-5779. Feel free to give us a call. If not, we're going to continue to do what we do. Is it important to you, in your opinion, to be prepared and ready to vote? Is it important to you, or do you go and vote? And just listen, let me say this to all of you, thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people who sit at home and don't vote one way or the other. And you sit at home and you're afraid to go outside because you put unqualified individuals in the position to take care of you, but they're not taking care of you. I think that every politician needs to be held accountable. And when they can get away with not being held accountable by you, they're going to continue to do it. People are running for these positions now because they're looking at it in some cases that they don't have to do anything. They can get $40,000 a year for meeting twice a month and get 40,000. And that's what we're doing. And then you got this group of individuals who call themselves power brokers, and they decide who should win an election or not. You know, people don't understand that when you are strong enough, man or woman enough, to speak up, then people don't want you to tell the truth and shame the devil. They just want you to be quiet and don't say anything. But I'm not that type of person, never have been that type of person. I'm a type of person that if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to make a decision. If I can't do it right, I won't do it at all. That's the problem that we have in this city. They can't get it right for nothing. And they don't want to get it right. They just want to get the position, get the power, and the money. Think about what your community looks like and the people that represent us versus other people that are being truly represented. You got to get mad. You got to say, I'm sick and tired of this, and I'm not going to take it anymore. You're going to have to say that. And you're going to have to prove it by getting out here and voting. I want you all to do that. I want you to stand up and be counted. Show the people. Show Dr. Roger Richmond that what they did before it can come back to them. What goes around comes around, as they used to say. Whatsoever that sowing, that shall you also reap. It's reaping time, Dr. Richmond. is reaching a reaping time, school board members, and you're gonna get it because the people are upset. The people are organizing themselves to come at you, to come at that school board, to come at the city council or the county commission, who's ever in line to be voted. The people are thinking now, because truly in the past they have not been thinking. Because if they were, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in, that the world knows about a place called Memphis, Tennessee. And all of this is happening, and the world knows that what happened here in Memphis fall back on the leadership that we have in this city. I don't care how much you defend Paul Young, how much you defend Lee Harris, they just ain't got it. They just don't have it. And it's been proven over and over again. Now, Lee Harris should be one and done. He should be done. But then again, watch the power that be. Plant a certain money in certain position within our community, and they may rise up again. When a person haven't done anything for you in 8 years, gentlemen, that person should ever be in politics again. If somebody's been in here for 20 years, almost 30 years, and now it's a millionaire off of the back of the community that he represents, Steve Cohen should never be able to run, but he done made his money off it. As a matter of fact, I was listening to CNN, and Steve Cohen was trying to debate issues as it relates to ICE and some other things. And he could barely say what he wanted to say. I had to listen real close to understand what he was trying to put out. And these whole things, go to YouTube and put whatever description that you want to say, Steve Cohen in Congress discussing ICE or whatever, and just listen. I couldn't remember, just shake my head. How did this man stay in the position of representing a majority African American district that people sold each other, got in that race, 12, 20, or how many, and he walked away with the prize. But yet, he turned around and gave some grants to certain black folks to do nothing. And they kept pushing him. And you ought to feel like a fool. You ought to feel like a fool for that period of time that he's been in there and just made a fool out of him. And somebody gonna say, oh, he did a good job. And I used to ask when I was on the radio, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to describe to me what Steve Cohen has done since he's been in office that affect the black community. I'm not talking about a highway. I'm not talking about funding of a bridge. I'm not talking about giving money to nonprofits to hold to stop the killing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what has he done as your congressman for almost 30 years that have affected the black community. Not only Steve Cohen, I'm just whatever district it is. What can you tell me or tell yourself what these individuals have done? And they just go to Congress, they go to the State House, and they actually do nothing. So I'm glad they looking at the audit. They released the audit to the people, and the people perhaps see how bad and mismanaged the school board has been, not just this administration, but the previous administration. Then we get a person, and then they're doing the right thing, and then you get it out in 9 months. But he's been in here over a year as an interim, and he hasn't done anything. So if you got rid of her being Dr. Fagan in 9 months, he's been in over a year. Why can't you do the same thing to him? It's a problem. It's a game that's being played on you each and every day. But you got to get to the point, mad, annoyed, or whatever, to say that we're going to change the thing as we see it. You can do it. But those who went and bamboozled and locked in on this, I want to be somebody and to know somebody. You will always be stuck in that community of stupidity. And let me say this too as well. I want to give my condolences to the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who by this time you all know that he passed away. A lot of people have been talking about him. I had the experience to meet him on several occasions during the Church of God in Christ convention, being a part of the Rainbow Push organization. I had the opportunity to talk to him, and I posted some pictures a while back where we at this conference talking to him about issues that happened in Jackson, Tennessee, as well as here in Memphis. He is a true leader. He is the part, and you know, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and the struggle that we have. And you know what? I think about the sacrifices that the thing that they did to make us be in the position that we're in now. But we don't seem to care. I was talking to someone and they was telling me, man, all of you saying, I agree, but these people don't care about nothing. And when he said these people, I know who he's talking about black people. I said, well, I can't argue with you because the results speaks for itself. Look at where our school system is. Those are the results of poor leadership. And the game that's being played in this city, political, needs to change. And when will we do that? When will we do that? Or will we ever do it? Like the individual that told me that. These people don't want change. These people are going to keep doing what they're doing. And if that's the case, Lord have mercy upon us. Because we will forever be in a bad situation. We will forever be plagued because the Judas and the Tarzans of the world who put money in to make money. Just think about it. We invested in a hotel in our city hall, leaders. But a hotel will eventually be turned over to the Carlisle Group. And you said nothing back then. Y'all showed up, and you showed up over at First Baptist. I'm proud of you. As it relates to you protesting against this administration. And when I think about Dr. Jackson, Reverend Jackson, when I think about him and the other civil rights leaders, I thank God for them. Because if it had not been for them, where would we be? I'm Jim Bernard. You've been listening to Tell the Truth. I'm Shame the Devil. In the words of my grandmother, she always said, it is the Lord's will when the creek don't rise. I'll see you on tomorrow, but remember what I said. I always say, trust everyone, but do not trust the devil inside. And if it looks like I'm turning my head left and right looking at, I have to pay attention to all of these dials and make sure that they are even. And sometimes when it's not, you don't hear me clear enough. So if I'm looking around this place and I got buttons and computers in front of me, which I really need someone to be able to deal with this while I sit over on the other mic and talk about the issues and interview people who will come in. I keep inviting folks to come in and say, let's talk about the debate issue. They'll debate me on this line here, but they'll never come in. And what I say about them, I tell them, if you disagree with me, come in. Because the views and the opinion of this program is the views and opinion of the host, guest, and caller. It's not necessarily the views and opinion of tell the truth and shame the devil, but we are here. You can come in and talk. I have no problem with that. I posted Dr. Frederick Tappan. He's running for school board. A fine individual, a hard community servant who worked as a chaplain in the jail, who has been a radio personality uh, for years. He's running. And we're going to talk to him and interview him. Matter of fact, I'm going to a fundraiser, excuse me, on Thursday night. And I've already posted the information. If you want to come back, feel free to come back because that's an individual who will stand up for you and talk for you and be a person that will do the job. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you. You take care, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thank you.